an absolutely gorgeous morning this morning. It might be the last day before we get dipped into our big polar vortex that's coming. So we've been enjoying our artificial spring here right before we hit second winter. I'm just over by the shop checking out the sheep. Charlotte was just giving them some treats. Uh-oh. Get her another piece. The other thing I'm doing, well, I'm hopping over the fence here right now. The other thing I'm doing is filling up the water trough for the sheep here. It comes off the eaves trough off the shop and fills up this tub, but we haven't had a lot of snow, we haven't had any rain, and so the sheep have actually drank the water down, so I run the garden hose off the shop. I just thought it would be kind of cool for you to see how the chickens react to running water. So this was a conversation we had with some colleagues of mine a couple weeks ago, and there was a suggestion to put in a chicken waterfall. So if I let that water run for a little bit, you can see the chickens just go nuts for moving water. I don't know what it is, but they just love it. They just go to town. So I'll let the water run for a minute, let them have some fun. So at the time when we had the initial conversation about a waterfall for chickens, I just went straight to Google, as you do, and thought, well, let's just see if anybody's actually rigged up a real live water feature, like a waterfall, for their chickens. And when you Google waterfall chicken, you will get a surprise. It's apparently it's actually a way to cook chicken. Is they actually hot oil they run through a waterfall and cook your chicken. So not quite the waterfall the chickens are looking for. Out in the tractor here now. We're gonna finish up feeding. Started yesterday, fed bales to the bulls. I brought one over for the sheep, and I meant to get one out to the horses. I got it halfway out there, and a guy showed up to get some eggs, and then it was dark by the time he left, so it didn't make sense to try and run it out there in the dark. Because we've got to catch the horses. I can't get those gates open and get a bale through there before the horses come out and they run around and gallivant in our yard. I got a bucket of grain in the back of the tractor. I'm gonna go see if I can coax them into the pens over here, get the gate closed, and then open the main gate to the field, run that round bale over, and then we'll get the net on and let everybody go and have an all-you-can-eat through the net buffet. I don't think we don't have special grain for the horses or anything like that. It's actually just chicken feed that we get from Bloom Enterprises. There's pretty much nothing on the planet that won't eat chicken feed. There's nothing in it that's wild or anything like that, and it's pretty well. I mean, if you've ever eaten a granola bar, you've eaten chicken feed glued together with corn syrup. That's pretty much all that's in it. Did you catch the horsies? Yeah, good job. Back in the shop. Charlotte's down for a nap, and I am bound and determined to do some work on this greenhouse here. What do I got to do? Well, I got to get all this strapping that's over here on the roof in there, and I've been saying for probably a week now that I was going to get it done, but I just haven't got it done. Not because of procrastination or lack of ambition or lack of time. One of the biggest issues we've had is that the weather has been so poor, and like it's still nice, like don't get me wrong, it's nice out, but it's been accompanied with this 70-mile-an-hour wind for like 4 days in a row. And so my concern is if I remove that strapping, we've got those sheets of plastic and nowhere to put them. And if they blow away, I mean, that's a fortune just down the drain. So now that it's beautiful out, I'm gonna get the strapping up on the roof, and then I can put that plastic and just tuck it up there out of the way until the rest of our tin arrives. Well, nap time didn't last too long, but it lasted long enough I was able to go in the house and make a quiche. I haven't had a quiche since school days, so it's been a long time. So it was supposed to cook for 40 minutes. I think it cooked for closer to an hour and a half before I got everything. It was kind of soggy. I don't know. Anyways, it was a crustless quiche. So it's basically just an omelet. It's a fancy omelet. Anyways, yeah, Charlotte and I come out after a nap, and as you can see, we've got the strapping on the roof of the greenhouse. Just the ends are secured. I haven't done each individual one yet. Be very time consuming. So once little miss goes to bed for good here tonight, oh yeah, you betcha, that'll be bedtime. I'll sneak out and pre-drill all these holes and then get everything screwed down and nice and secure. I just got Charlotte to bed and I ran out to the chicken house, grabbed the eggs, and I dumped her last bag of shavings in the coop there. I should have ran to town today and grabbed another bag or two, but the day didn't progress that way. But it got me thinking about the price of shavings, because they are expensive, right? It's like $1.75 a cubic foot is what we're paying for it on average, right? It kind of goes up and down depending on what the market, like the industry, is doing, which is crazy because like shavings are a byproduct that they've managed to find a market for, right? Nobody's cutting down trees to make shavings. They're a byproduct of the mills, and they dry them and then they bag them and then they sell them to horse folks and chicken folks and whatnot. And yeah, good for them. They've managed to make a waste into a profit. But so I was at a drilling rig the other day, and there was a guy who brought a truckload in of wood shavings. It's exactly the same stuff that we put in our chicken coop. It's just not in 4 cubic foot bags. So when I say truckload, it's like 12 feet high, 8 feet wide, and 40 feet long. Like, it's a massive truckload. And I said, well, how much does that cost? He says $1,500. So that's like 39 cents a cubic foot. So that is, obviously you're not going to want that many, but that is a significant price difference from 39 cents a cubic foot to $1.75 a cubic foot. So I need to find an old shed somewhere and fill it up full of wood shavings. Right, so I'm up here at the top of the world, just putting this strapping on here now. I'm pre-drilling all the holes so I don't crack the 1x4 as I drive that screw in. And it's a bit breezy up here because we got the ceiling fan literally just inches from my head, and I already had one haircut today. I don't need a second one, so I better not stand up too quick. Now, I went up to the roof to pre-drill all these holes on the assumption that I had secured all of these boards on the ends and that I could walk around freely up there without any concern of any shifting or anything like that. But I felt the ground move beneath my feet, and as it turns out, yeah, I did forget to screw one in. I missed it somehow. Thankfully, I was able to come down via the ladder and not with any additional assistance from gravity. Right. So the strapping is all done, nice and secure. When I was up there, I noticed that side to side, this thing was solid as a rock, but you go front to back, maybe not so much. So because these two windows are here and we got 2 short stud walls and then this angled kind of wall, it's not super sturdy. So we got to fix that problem. So I'm putting in a full length 2x4 all the way sideways to secure each one of these studs. And then I'm going to put 2 45-degree braces down at an angle to that center post. And then I will do something over here. I'm not sure how that's going to look just yet. But one thing's for sure, we know we've had a 70-mile-an-hour wind for the last 4 or 5 days, however long it's been. This thing has to withstand that kind of pressure. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and call that a wrap. It is pretty sturdy actually now. Push on it, doesn't seem to move anywhere. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do over on this side another day. But for now, physically and mentally, I'm just tired. I need a cup of tea. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Damn it, I thought I was done. Oh, I forgot the corrugated plastic out on the trailer that now doesn't have any lumber on top of it to hold it down if the wind picks up. So I better get it put inside and up on top of this roof, and then I'll go have my cup of tea.